hello there. Hi. Oh, hi. Bowie, hello. Hello there. Wrong button. Hi, it's me, Scott. Bowie, are you okay? Are you not comfortable? Are you not comfy, or are you just curious? What's going on? Hello, it's me, Scott, and Bowie, my co-host for the week, as we celebrate Blobzgiving with a third installment. And I think probably just one puzzle today. Unfortunately, I'm getting a later start than I meant. However, Blobz sent me 2 puzzles today, and one of them was so he initially tried to do a yin-yang sightline indexed, then became discouraged, and then managed to pull it off. So I think we're going to do that one. I do want to just like take a quick gander at what the first puzzle is. Let's just take a quick gander. Ooh, wait, this is also... Wait, we have 2 yin-yang sightline puzzles? I did not expect this. I did not expect a double. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so maybe we do have to do both of these. But Bowie, I'm sorry. Well, we may have to do both. There may just be no way around it. Okay, I can't not do this. Can I? Can't I? Can't I not? Okay, we got to do this. I don't really understand the rules, but we'll get into them in a minute. So let's pick. What is it going to be? Like pointer. Try to find a pointer related background. What's a good I don't have any of these. It's a cute mouse pointer. There's no night constraint, so we don't have to do that. Hope everyone is having a good Friday of whatever. Well, not Good Friday. Sorry, Good Friday is a different day. An arrow? We need another yin yang. I'm sure there's got to be a lot of yin yangs. That just seems like a thing people couldn't resist. I don't know. IQ, how do you do it? Oh, we could do some kind of vector field. It's too late. Already typed yin yang and hit enter. Gosh, the Pac-Man game. These people. Well, that looks like a ladybug. That one's kind of good. Do we go with this one? Is it too distracting? Very interesting. I like it because it's blobby. So we have a blobby yin yang. So let's jump into this puzzle. We seem to have audio. The music doesn't seem to be too loud. I'm going to check because I'm paranoid. Loud. I'm going to check. Okay, that was me. That was me talking. Okay, let's dive into this. So let's reset the clock. So normal Sudoku rules. Let's bring this thing up. We have yin-yang rules, which we have 2 orthogonally connected regions, no 2 by 2 areas. Those are the explicit rules. The implicit rules are that there's no checkerboards and that there are only 2 regions in the perimeter, meaning there's going to be one color. It's going to take up part of the perimeter, and it's going to switch at some point to the other color. We can't switch back and forth. There'll be 2 boundaries along the perimeter. Digits in caged cells indicate how many cells of the same color are seen orthogonally from that position, including itself. The other color blocks vision. Those are sightline rules, which were really interesting yesterday with the black Kropke dots because they also blocked vision. But it just means that, so those are the explicit rules. One of the implicit rules here is that there's never a 1 inside of a cage because it needs to see orthogonally connected regions. We may also see on the boundaries that for me, I have what I feel like is the standard break-in of these puzzles on the perimeter. It's not always true. And then the digit in a cell with an arrow must match the count of cells of the opposite color in the given direction. Each arrow is considered separately. Count of cells of the opposite color. So doesn't that mean that this is a boundary? Because it has to be the opposite color. There's only 1 cell here, period. Okay, let's continue. Blobz, hello. Welcome to Blobzgiving, day 3. Okay, I was gonna not do this puzzle because I didn't realize that both of them were yin-yang puzzles, and now I'm drawn in. Okay, So I was just trying to wrap my head around arrow rules, and I think I was going to make the case that this was a boundary. It's probably a boundary anyway. So my standard break-in for a yin-yang sightline puzzle is a perimeter-based break-in, knowing that because we have only 2 regions on the perimeter, we can only have 2 seams, that at least 2, if not 3 of the sides will always have 9. That's just a requirement of these puzzles. And in this case, this side cannot be a 9 because each of these digits would then see at least 9 digits. There'd have to be something higher than a 9. And the same thing would be true here. So the first thing I'm going to say is that this is solid. I'm going to say that this is gray, and I'm going to say that this is a 9. I think that is my I love Yin Yang Sightline. It is my favorite series. I misunderstood your message. Somehow I interpreted it as like you hit a block with the index Yin Yang Sightline, so you just made a totally different constraint. Juggler, welcome back. I didn't realize that it was truly the height of Blobzgiving, where we got 2 Yin Yang Sightline puzzles in one day. What a rare gift. So this side is still kind of constrained. So we can start to ask the question of whether or not this can be green. And we can see that if we did this, well, we already know that. I'm being redundant here. This is definitely not green. It's obviously gray, because the just reaching from one side to the other is going to have too many digits that are 9 or higher. So we know this is gray, but then we can kind of like work out from that a little bit and ask if even this can be green. If it is green, it has to connect to its friends. And in this case, we would have 8 digits, but we would need 3 digits that are higher than 8, and that's not a thing. So in this case, this is also gray. This one is annoying, because in this case, we would need 2 digits higher than 8, and that is a possible thing. That is a thing that is available to us. I do think there is a boundary here. Should I be embarrassed that I'm so fixated on Blobz puzzles? I don't know. I just don't. I'm not going to be. I'm going to say, like, I've just chosen to be. It's kind of like if there's like a local band that you're really into and you're just like, oh yeah, I love this local band. I've got all their t-shirts and their CDs or their cassettes. Blobz is my local band. I've just chosen to be devoted. Let's see. Sorry, I got to send a quick message that I neglected to send. I love them. Actually, one of these. Okay, this is not. I love Blobz puzzles because there's so much variety in them, and they are consistently of a difficulty range that works well for me. And there are other setters that, maybe don't have as much variety in the rules that I really enjoy, but a little bit less variety, or that have a range of difficulty where, like, sometimes they're a little out of my reach, or they're sometimes a little too easy. Like, I love willpower puzzles. I have nothing bad to say about willpower puzzles, but they often aren't on the challenging end, Okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by my phone in a very rude way, but I just have to quickly send a message. And I love Scojo puzzles too, but also sometimes Scojo's rules just hurt my brain from the second I look at them. Sometimes setters who make puzzles that I really love, sometimes I see their puzzles and I'm like, you're kidding me. This is an insult. Okay. Anyway, this is, I want to talk about these a little bit, right? Because when we're here, well, that's one of the things, I guess, is like some of the most, which I totally get it, I guess, from a setter's perspective of wanting to do things that are pretty wild and pretty out there, like just for your own entertainment, right? Especially if you're setting tons of puzzles. But sometimes the like really exotic rule sets, I'm just bad at them, kind of, especially on stream, like juggling things in my head. So again, that's no there's plenty of other setters that I really enjoy, but like Blobz is kind of the only setter that I've with basically every puzzle in his entire catalog has worked well for me, with maybe the exception of the first pinball puzzle. And there are actually some really hard ones in there too. The first pinball one was just like I had such a hard time wrapping my head around it. Yeah, that is fun, where it's a wild rule set, but it just untangles and it just shows you something cool, and then somebody else has to make it crazy. Okay, back to this puzzle. I just can't sing the praises of Blobz enough. I have this idea about this kind of thing, because we have to, if I'm understanding these, a digit in a cell with an arrow must match the count of cells of the opposite color in the given direction. So if there's only one cell here, doesn't this have to be the opposite color? Because if this was green, there'd be no cells of the opposite color, and this would be a 0. So I'm going to claim that has to be gray. Is that I think that feels reasonable. And then this is an opposite situation. We obviously knew that it couldn't be double gray, but maybe there's some world that it could have been a double green. We had some interesting logic yesterday of like little wraparounds. Oh, okay, right. We need to think about this in the opposite direction, which we didn't do yet. Can this be gray? If this is gray, we have 8, but then we need 3 digits that are 8 or higher, which is not available. So this becomes gray. This fellow, again, 8, 9 is a possibility here. This digit cannot grow. So that is somewhat noteworthy. It can't grow both to avoid the 2 by 2, but it also can't grow because these are opposite. That does just mean this is a 1, right? I hope I'm understanding this rule set correctly. And this is going to see, it's obviously going to see at least 1. But it can't be a 1 because it's in a cage, but also we already see there's 2 digits here. But it's going to be a maximum of 4. In fact, it's going to be a maximum of 3, because even if these were both, so this is just a 2 or a 3, I think. And this is it's not a 1. So it is, but it's a maximum of 2. So this just is a 2, and that means this digit is gray and this digit is green, and so these are green to get out of the corner. That's really interesting. No, this is wrong. I did something wrong. The number of the opposite color. Did I break the puzzle already? No, it's right. This is the 8 and this is the 9. That's what we said. For this to be green, well, I don't know if it's right, but it's not wrong yet. This is only 1 larger than this, so that's okay. For this to be 9 and this to be 8 is allowed. And this is gray, and then we want to avoid a 2 by 2. So that, at least at this moment, feels okay. And then this has to be green to avoid a checkerboard, which was probably there a little sooner. That means this person doesn't grow and both of these grow, which means this is a 7, which means this is an 8-9 pair. So both of these have to grow. So both of those are green, and then one of them is going to grow 1 additional square. And then to avoid, we have 2 by 2s we have to avoid. So both of these are gray. And then this is gray, and we see 2 green, so it is a 2, and it already sees 2, so this is green. In fact, we need to do that over here as well. Oops, this is green. And this Blobz, this is lovely. It is very smooth. Now, there's 2 things that are remarkable about that. One, it's good setting, which, you know, I would expect from you. But also, I haven't screwed up yet. I haven't made a grievous error. These little opposite arrows are really interesting in this puzzle. These little counter arrows. Oh yeah, we've got more to do here. Wait a minute, what are we doing? This, sorry, a few things, right? This 2 only sees 2, but we also have to avoid the 2 by 2. And we also have to avoid a checkerboard. And then this, we've got to escape here. Gray needs to get out of this little cranny. We also need to avoid a checkerboard here. We need to avoid a 2 by 2 here. This is very smooth. Almost too smooth. Checkerboard, like where I'm going to make a mistake because I'm because I'm just breezing along. This is a maximum of 6 and sees 4. Error. Oh, good. See? Great. An error. I knew it. Wait, what did I do? I made a checkerboard. When I said I wasn't going to make a checkerboard, I then said, let's make a checkerboard. Sorry about that. Okay. Skojo, good evening. Skojo, I owe you a Sudoku pad. I sent one to Blobz. I owe you a Sudoku pad. I sent the Sudoku pads to Simon and Mark. They never mentioned them on stream, which is fine. You know, I didn't necessarily expect them to, but I don't actually know if they got them. And it was kind of expensive to send them to the UK. So I really hope they got them. Wait, Mark did? Did he really? Oh, did he mention it? Nobody told me. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? Oh my gosh, really? And nobody told me? Okay, partially, I feel bad because I should have been watching and I missed it. So that's on me. Number 1. Number 2 is, also I have been not a very good participant in the Sudoku community for the last 4 months. So that's on me also. But I'm also furious at everyone. In late October. Oh, so just, okay, that would maybe kind of explain it. Because in October, I had a lot of travel and I was definitely pretty tuned out then. Oh, that's great. That is a huge relief to know. That's great. I'm very glad to know that they arrived, because I was just worried, oh no, I sent these things halfway around the world and they didn't get there. Okay, thank you for telling me. That is good to know. So we already used all of our arrows. So we're kind of running out of stuff in here, right? Just in terms of our remaining digits, 3. Well, this could be a 3, couldn't it? The 8-9 arrangement's a little funny. Am I missing something here? This could be 3, 4, and that could... I feel like I'm missing something obvious in terms of somebody having to grow or not. I don't know. There's surely something there that I'm just missing. This person sees 3 already. Well, 1 in here is 1 in here. Okay, is not there, so 1 is here. So 1 is not here, so 1 is here. Oh yeah, gosh, these are already resolved. Good grief, I'm so good at this. This one grew. Remember we said that one of these was going to be 1 larger. Both of these are capped. We've already hit our size here because we had a 7. This is the 8. This is the 9. That's embarrassing. See, Blobz, it was very smooth and beautiful, and then I distracted myself and made a mess of things. So okay, that cordons those off, and it's going to stick the 8 downstairs, and it's going to stick the 9 here, not there. So what do we want to happen with... How are we going to grow here? That's all of our perimeter cages we can see. This sees a 3, so it's not impossible that that's 3. This already sees 4. In doing our little cordoning, I see massive. I see heat clicks happening. Okay, let's think with our brains. How's that sound? I don't know that I feel like I just suddenly forgot how to do puzzles. Okay, so what's going on? What's going on? This already sees 5. It's not 7. It's 5, 6, 8, 9, right? Why do I just feel like I've lost the thread here? Okay, I said the heat. Okay, I'm ignoring you for a second, chat. I want to get it. I really do. I want to get it. I mean, it definitely makes sense that there's something going on in the neighborhood. Did I break something? Do I have an error? Oh no, I'm giving you motion sickness. Let me change it. I really tried to not pick things that are too outrageous. Let's pick a calmer yin yang. We want to have like a little bit of movement, right? We need a little something. What's the newest yin yang puzzle? Okay, I'm using this as a diversionary tactic. I don't like to ignore chat, but there's times where I just feel like, okay, I just really want to try to get this. Whoa, look at that. The smoky. There's a lot of like really uncomfortable zoomy ones. So let's go with this one. Is this too much? Hopefully this isn't too much. I may not actually read behind the puzzle. Okay. Okay, just let me at him. Okay, right. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is not a 3 already. That's a thing that we can feel confident in. And this sees fewer than this. Whatever this sees more than this. That is a thing that we can feel confident in. And this must see more than both of those. So this is not a 6, right? Because that would be too big. So what does that mean? This is always 1 larger than this. This is some other number of digits larger. This is very embarrassing when I feel like I've just forgotten the basics of solving a... I see the heat. I mean, I believe you. I believe it's here. I just am... now I'm cracking under pressure. I can feel it. Oh. No. This was correct in both ways. Sorry, I thought for a moment that I had an issue here, but we do see 1 in both of those. That's fine. And this does see 2. And this does see 2. And this does see 1. So we're fine. I feel bad when I do this, chat, when I know you're trying to help me and I'm just deliberately being this definitely sees more than this, right? I mean, this sees 1 more than this. This must see at least 2 more than this, right? So its minimum is 6, 7, 8, 9, and not a 7. So it's 6, 8, 9, right? Because it's definitely going to see more. And right now it sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So no matter what, it has to grow. It's fine for it to be 2 more. Oh my gosh, I'm sure I'm missing something just like absurdly easy. Just like shockingly, embarrassingly simple. Chat, I can see it. Oh no, I know. Okay, good. Okay, it's fine. As long as no one's mad at me. I don't know if any, just don't be mad at me. Just, okay, why? I really am embarrassed. If this is 6, this is 5, and this would go down 2 more. Well, I can't do that. If this is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This would see 6. This would see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess it could just grow. Only one of these two can grow. We can't do the double grow, right? Like that's a problem. If this goes down, these don't grow. Chat, I know you're trying to help me. I'm sorry. I felt like I had such a fluid solve going. These, okay. A thing that we can state with certainty is that if this grows down, then these are greens. These are both greens. And then these see the same number, and that's bad. Okay, that's right. It's probably an easy way to see that. I don't know why I had such a hard time. If I made this gray, we've got to remove checkerboards here. And now, no matter what happens, these will always be the same number, which is a bad situation to be in. I don't know why I had such a hard time seeing that. So this is just 4. This is just 5. Wait, sorry, that wasn't true at all. This number's lower. This is 3. This is at least 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have to grow at least one more to make that a 6. Only one of these can grow, though. Wait. Did I just break the puzzle? That's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That can't grow. Right. If this were to grow, then we'd need all 3 of these digits to be larger than this, and they would all have to grow down, and we'd end up with a 2 by 2. So that doesn't grow. That's green. Okay, I'm gonna look at chat now, and I can be. Why can't row 4, column 3 be 5? I don't know. Why did I say that? Why couldn't that be 5? Because it already saw 6, I think. Because we already had... Why couldn't that be 5? I feel like I had a reason. Didn't I have a reason that I had already... We already knew those were gray. Somehow. Oh, we had to... Right. This was because of a 2 by 2. This was because we had to, like, get out of the corner. Where did we get this gray? Where did I get that gray? Where did I get that gray? Well, now I don't remember where I got it. Why did I say... Oh, I said it had to be at least... Okay, that was wrong. What I said was wrong. It needed to be at least 2 higher than this. I said it needed to be 2 higher than... I'm sorry. That was bad pencil marking. This digit needs to be 2 higher. I think I said 2 higher than this and said 6. It needs to be 2 higher than this. So it certainly could be a 5. So sorry, that was just silliness. That was just bad pencil mark. But I think all of our rules still apply. That and now both of these have to grow, right? To see a different number than this. And if this was gray, it would also have to grow and we'd have a 2 by 2. So this is green and both of these are gray. And then this green has to get out of here. Are we happy with that? This now sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is 5. That's 4. That's 3. Okay. Are we happy? Uh-oh. I thought we were good, and then I got a huh. Why row 4, column 5 has to be green? Because if this was gray, if this is gray, this number is just what this number is, right? So as far this number is the number of horizontally visible digits because of this, right? So if this is gray, it has to be bigger than that. And the only way it could be bigger is if it grew down. And this would have to grow down, and this would have to grow down. Yeah, yeah. Which is a cool thing that emerges in these puzzles. I really, what's really funny is as many of these as I have done, I feel like that particular conclusion, which is just like one of those implicit rules of yin yang sight lines, is like when there's two sight lines next to each other, you have to be very careful of their growth. I feel like I didn't understand that until I had done, I don't even know, 10 of these. I don't even know how you've done now, how many of these you've set now, Blobz, but that was something that took me a long time to in fact, I think there was a puzzle that really required that. I can't remember which one it was, but I seem to remember there was a puzzle where you could only move forward by understanding the growth. Okay, then green's got to pop out here. So that's all very exciting. So this really is just, this was all fine, right? With that as the 5 and this as the 4. And that is a 5-6 pair. So I believe I have cleaned up all of my silly messes. One of these must grow even further. Like one of them's got to extend more. In fact, one of them could extend even further to 9 potentially. But these numbers are bigger than 6, and one is bigger than the number. One is bigger than the other, which is maybe an obvious statement. So there's 6, 7, 8, 9, but this one can't be 9. Okay, so that was all very exciting. Did we learn anything? Feels like we should have learned some things about like who can go where. This digit is 6, 7, 8, or 9. It's a highish fellow. This is also a highish fellow, but it's not a 9. One of these has to grow. It's fine, I think, for one of them to be 6 and stop. I think. We do have some, like this person's got to get down here somewhere. We need to be a little bit cautious about like this growth. Like, obviously, these are different numbers. Well, right. Okay. Well, we already know. This one's bigger than 3. And it's going to prevent growth. So whatever this digit is, it's not just 3. So this definitely grows down. And as soon as this grows down, we get a double green to prevent checkerboardage. And we get a gray that needs to stick its little nose out. And then this just is a 3. And this just is a 4. And this is currently 1, 2, 3, 4 is a 5, which I guess it could stay. This person is just a 2 because it's going to be in a little cul-de-sac. Anopolis, hello. Oh, wait, did I do something wrong? Sorry, what did I do? Oh, why did both of these? Sorry, row 4, column 2. Why did these both have to grow? Didn't we determine that this was blocked off, so they both had to be bigger than this? Did I make a mistake? I need to back up a little bit. You're saying row 4, column 2, and column 4. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Okay, the logic over here may have been fine, but I think I had some bad logic there. I had bad logic there. Sorry, let's go over that again because one of those things was maybe not true because one of these could be less than this. Right? It is still true that this is green. I feel like I'm really making a mess of this puzzle. I apologize. This I stand by, right? Because if this was gray, we'd have double green here and these digits would be the same. The thing that I did not talk through, which was foolish of me, even though I spoke with such certainty, these digits have to be different than this. And they have to be different from each other, but they don't both have to be larger. Right? One of them certainly has to grow because it has to be different. But this digit already has vision up here. I feel like I'm explaining this poorly. So one way to think about it is this digit already sees 5, right? So it's okay if this did. In fact, do neither of them have to grow? Maybe everything I said was wrong. Sorry, let me back up a little bit. This already sees 5, but this could just be a 3. And this could be a 4, right? So do maybe neither of them have to grow if it's 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry. One of them has to grow. Sorry. One of them has to grow because these two do need to be different. Sorry. One of them does have to grow, but you can't make the case that they both have to grow. One of them absolutely does, which means this was wrong because this one could be the one that grows with this as 5, this as 3, and this as 4. So everything I said was a lie. But this is okay. I apologize and I'm embarrassed, but it is true that this is this, and this is this. That is true. It is true that this is minimum 5. Okay. See, it's very embarrassing to me. I mean, I make mistakes all the time, which is fine. I'm comfortable with all the mistakes I make in life. It's where we are in life. But it's sad when I stumble on a puzzle that was this beautiful because we were so fluid, and then I was overtaken by hubris. So I still stand by this logic here, I think, because this 3 was correct, right? So this is 4. So it grows 4 or more. So I think all this logic was actually fine. The thing that I was wrong about was this, which actually was definitely, it was green. So it was green after all, just by checkerboard logic, right? Because when we grow this has to grow so it's not a 3. We have to avoid a 2x2, and then we have to avoid a checkerboard. So this actually was green. So that was correct. It was not correct that both of these had to grow. So I was right about this for the wrong reasons, which is still wrong. It still counts as wrong. So this is known as 4. This is known as 3, right? That we have now cordoned this off as being 5. One of these does have to grow. One of them can just be a smaller fellow. It would be okay at this moment, at least, to have a 3. Maybe that will change. We got an uncheckerboard here. We need to, that is just a little 2 creeping around like a weirdo. I think that places a 2. It would seem to place a 2. No, don't send me off track. I get off track all the time. I definitely don't need help. There are certain people who are especially skilled at distracting me, like Life is Yours and like Bowie, who's very distracting because he's so cute. Bowie, you're so cute. Bowie, what are you doing? Bowie's bored of this puzzle. Okay, so what were we talking about? We were hanging out in this region here, and we were talking about certain things like the fact that this sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is minimum 5. It also just isn't 2, 3, or 4. Ruffles, how's it going? Bowie's being very good. Bowie's a good person. Very often. He sometimes flies into fits of rage, and sometimes he turns into a gremlin and regresses into some like wild beast mode. but he's very small. He's a very small person, so it's not that threatening. I don't know if you can really like tell how small Bowie is. Bowie's this very small fella. Bowie, can I just borrow you? Here. Look at this little person. Look at this little person. He's just such a small little guy. Bowie's such a small person. Okay. Thanks for making an appearance. Adjust the Bowie cam. Okay. Bowie, did we lose you? Can we just do this? Get a little scooch? There we go. Okay. Back to the puzzle. Very chill. Bowie's he's so good. Bowie's very good. Bowie is very good until somebody doesn't pass the vibe check, which is frankly most people. If somebody doesn't pass the vibe check, Bowie will let them know they have not passed the vibe check. Okay, so we're getting into like Sudoku-ish territory up here, which nobody wants to deal with. I mean, we probably don't have to do Sudoku, but it looks like there some people might choose to do Sudoku at a time like this and make this a 1-4, right? And then there would be some remaining digit that no one knows what it is, but I think it's a 3. So that's... We're concerned about one of these being a 3, which we don't know yet. Oh, was there clicking? Okay, I see. Very interesting. So, let's talk about that square a little bit. Well, there's probably a few squares in the neighborhood we should discuss. This square is just interesting because all of our low digits are spoken for. And in this direction, it could only see 4 ever. So if somehow we had like a weird green, I mean, we could never do that. But this square is not 1, 2, 3, or 4. So it must see 5, and it could only have vision to 4 in that direction. So I would believe that, and that I believe would greenify that. That means that this person only sees fewer than 5. Like it only sees what 5 does minus whatever else 5 can see. Which, you know, is a number. It could be a 2. Stranger things have happened. It's getting distracted up here because it feels like there's like some pressure that I'm not appreciating. But maybe we're just not quite there yet. I don't know. If this was a 2, then we would be cordoned off. It's also definitely smaller than 5. It really is just 2, 3, 4. Oops, that's a 5, not a 4. Oh, did I make an error? Wait, what did I say? I said 5 or more. What did I say? Gosh, it's 5 or more. I'm sorry. It's not 5. It's 5 or more. Which does do this. Embarrassing. This was all right. That wasn't a 5. I think I even said 5 or more, and then I just put a 5 there. I can't be trusted. I used to have an alert. I should fix that at some point. The bot is just broken. Does the bot even work anymore? No. I specifically had an alert. Uh-oh, Skojo has a cool deduction. I want to make a cool deduction. Don't make cool deductions without me. I want to make them. I'm caught up thinking about 3s. Skojo, can you like point me in the direction of a cool direction? Can you hint it in that way only you can? Okay, sorry, this was 5, 6, 7, 8 are the actual options. Maybe. And this digit is fewer. Is less than that. Is that where we're looking? Are we going to look over here? Oh, okay. Well, that is a thing that we probably should do, right? Is the kind of in the way that we started the puzzle, or the way I start these puzzles, is by like looking at the boundaries and seeing where things can grow. That does apply at a smaller scale. Look at that. That could be an 8 and be squished off there. Oh, well, that is kind of interesting. Okay, this person cannot grow, right? This person is not growable. So any additional grays have to be able to grow, right? So if I tried to do this with the 8, then this digit can't grow. This actually can't grow anymore. It can only grow, it has already grown by 1. So these digits would have to grow by 2 and 3, like these digits, and this digit. All of these digits would have to grow dramatically, which is not a thing that we encourage. So, but does that mean it's not gray? It just means it's not connected. I see the heat over there. Okay, yeah, when I lied about that being a 5, and I totally lied to you. So there is something to this, right? I mean, it just in terms of that would make this an 8 and this a 7, and then these would all be broken if that connected. So it definitely doesn't connect. But there has to be some gray in here, because otherwise, they'll be 2 by 2s. What I kind of but there's also nothing that says that this has to be contiguous. Or they could just be like little broken babies. Sorry, I'm just briefly Sudokuing. I see the heat out of the corner of my eye. I'm trying not to be. I really do love these puzzles, and I try to solve them with like. I never mind like some prodding of where to look, but I want to feel like I know what I'm doing. So sorry, that was not what I meant to do. I was just thinking about 9-ness, but maybe that's not actually interesting. 9liness. And our 1liness is not yet really a thing. Yeah, not in a way that's meaningful yet, I don't think. Okay, sorry. I think I need to just stew on this for just a moment. So it does feel like there's going to be something about. So this as an 8 was absurd, right? Like this was not 8 in this configuration, because it would require all of these digits all to be bigger than 8, not 9. So this would be like 10, 11, 12. So that's a silly proposition. Is it a silly proposition? If this does grow here, it does need to grow. And we can't do, we actually could, never mind. I was just say you couldn't do that, but then green could escape here. Feels like there's something that's lower hanging that I'm just really failing to appreciate. This already sees for, I know, I see the hint in the corner. I'm sorry. Oh gosh. That's what you're hinting. The most basic of rules. It's a 2 by 2. How did I not pencil mark that at the beginning of the puzzle? That is so funny. That is like, I don't know why. I have no excuse for this. I have no excuse for that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's funny because that's a thing that I look at, like, that's like a first 2 minute of the puzzle thing. And then I just turned that part of my brain off, apparently. Like normally when I'm solving the perimeter, the first thing I do is fill in those corners. And then today I just didn't do it. How embarrassing. What an embarrassment. Now we did prove that these aren't connected. So that's very exciting. So there are some greens in here. So that's a real triumph. Now, the thing I just wanted to talk about then was, we know that 8 can't do this. So if it is 8, it's got to grow here. And then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But that that is a thing that may be possible. This is now bounded, actually, though. That's worth considering. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, but no more than that. So that's only 5 or 6. And that means this digit is up here, so this is 5 or 6. Is that a true statement? Was I close to making a good deduction here? Oh, when I was talking about like going around the corner or something, does something weird happen to us if we make this? Oh, okay, that is interesting. Okay, that's just a pure like yin-yang thing. If this is gray, then to avoid a checkerboard, this must be green. But to avoid a 2x2, sorry, to avoid a checkerboard, this must be gray, but to avoid a 2x2, this must be green. So this is always green. That's just pure yin-yang, right? Like if we put a gray here, this is green, but we've created a checkerboard and vice versa. So this just is green. That's cool. So that just is a 5. And that means, oops, oh boy. That means this digit 5 must appear in here. So that is just 5. And that means this just is a 6, 7, 8. And that means this digit is just, this just is 1, right? Do we already know that? Wait, have I known this was 1 my entire life and just didn't? How long has that been pencil marked as a 1 and just sitting by itself? We've known that was a 1 for like 100 hours. Did I know that? How long did I know that was a 1? It is the loneliest number. So lonely, in fact, that I just didn't even acknowledge its existence. So this is 6, 7, 9. Oops, not 8. 6, 7, 9. That's not a 9. 7's in here doing 7 stuff. This person, I do. That's Harry Nilsson. I love Harry Nilsson. Even though I think Three Dog Night is who got popular singing it, Harry Nilsson wrote that song. I hope you're listening to the Harry Nilsson version and not the Three Dog Night version. Three Dog Night version's fine, but Harry Nilsson. Yeah, Harry Nilsson's the real deal. Okay. So, what are we doing now? So what are we doing, everybody? We did talk about this being legal. Is that still legal? This person sees 1, 2, 3, 4 already. And that's okay. It's okay for that to be 4, not 5, not 8. Could it even be 9? The most it could see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, actually. So it's either 4, 6, or 7, kind of depending on what goes on over here. But not 5. So if it grows here, it has to grow here as well. And then there. And then that would be the downward thrust of this, which we've been so concerned about for so long. I guess this could see more. I was going to say this wants to see fewer, but maybe it doesn't. Doesn't it feel like there's Sudoku to do? Am I just wrong about that? The 5 situation here. If this actually was a 5, this would be a 4, and this would have to grow by at least 2. Does that mean it can't be gray? If we try to put a 5 here, well, I guess it can work that way. I was just thinking like if it was 5 and went this way, but maybe it actually can still work the other way. That's minimum 3. Okay. Man, I'm thinking about Harry Nilsson. So we did talk about one of the, it's still possible one of these is a 3, right? That is a thing That is like in the realm of possibility in this particular universe. This right now sees only 2 digits, which is obviously a problem. So this has to grow. One way or the other. If it grows this way, this is broken because it would see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is not allowed. So if this grows this way, it has to grow to at least here. And then this would be that would be 4, which is not allowed. So it would have to go. So actually this can't be, but 7 is allowed. That would be 7 and that would be 5. And I think that's a thing that is permitted. Is that permitted? I think I'm feeling off track again. Like this digit. Okay, well, wait, right. Just the same thing that motivated us to look here. We should look here as well because it's not 1, 2, 3, or 4. This is at least 5, right? So not only does it have to grow, it has to grow by a non-trivial amount. Would that be legal? What would that do? That would force this to grow. That would put if this was 5, then this would be 4. That would be 5. Is it really possible? That would throw 5 over here somewhere. That feels weird. Is this digit lower than this digit or is it higher? Like breaking in here with the green. Means this digit has to be lower than this digit. If we have a sneak attack. It does feel important that we have so many low digits spoken for. For this to be a 2, this would have to be a wall. If this is 2, this is gray. And this is gray. And this is a number that's a different number. It's a different number. Wait, did I make a checkerboard? What did I do? Was I not thinking about... Sorry, was I... Now I've lost track of what I was talking about. We have to, like, this is a place that we obviously have to avoid checkerboards. Was I accidentally checkerboarding here when I was talking about stuff? Possibly. Like, if this was... This is 4 right now. If this is 6, we've got to go like this. And then... I'm sorry. I feel like I've lost the thread again. How embarrassing. What an embarrassment. I'm an embarrassed person. It's one of these a 3. If one of these turns out to not be a 3, I'm going to be outraged. Truly dismayed. If this is a 2, these all get greened. This would see a minimum of 3 then. This would also see... What's this number is different than this number, right? What does it mean? We know there's some grays in here. And we know these aren't connected. How far... So... This is a bit constrained. We know it doesn't fully connect here. So on this side, it could at most go that way. But it seems like it could do this. Oopsie. Still an 8. Does this grow? Maybe. Only one of these people. One of these sees a different number of digits. Okay, let's talk about these again. Forgive me for the redundancy, but I just gotta revisit some digits. 4 would mean we have brick walled this, and we would have already seen all of our digits, right? So this is a 4. And that would mean this only saw 2. Am I getting a nose boop? Thanks. Is that because you can't boop Bowie's nose? Bowie's is deep sleep. If this is green, this is green, right? That's a true and undisputed fact. And then this has to go somewhere. This would be a 4 and it would be done. And this has to grow. And as soon as it takes the tiniest step, it immediately takes all of these, right? So it just, to be bigger than 2, it takes all of these. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it just is 5. So this has to be bigger. So this must grow this way. So this is gray. But, and this is gray, because to avoid that 2 by 2. So this would have to go up. Which makes sense. I mean, it's got to see more than this. If this grows here, it's got to grow. Right. If this is gray, it's got to go this way. That's always true. If this digit is gray, it has to see more than this. So it must go like this. And if this digit is green, it must go like this to avoid 2 by 2. Is that a reasonable statement? I don't know if we care about that statement, and it's probably not the thing I'm supposed to be looking at, but I'm going to say that if this is gray, it has to be bigger than this, so it must grow. If it is green, to avoid a checkerboard, we must go like this. So I guess what I'm saying is this domino is the same color. I'm just saying numbers. Oh no, Blobz is losing patience with me. Blobz, I'm sorry. See, this is why you can't watch live. When you watch the YouTube version, you can just skip the parts where I'm being offensively slow. Okay, but I do remember that this couldn't be 6 because this couldn't be 5, right? Because that is true, right? Because if this if this is 6, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I actually do remember that. So that's fair. That is fair. I will take that. Okay, but back to this. I know that this is probably just a side quest I'm on that is irrelevant to everyone but me. But in my heart, I just want to feel that this domino is the same color. That's all. That's all I want. That's all I want is to just feel comfortable with that. And offensively slow. I'm not even, oh my gosh. There are times where I just get fixated on a puzzle that is clearly, there's a JW, maybe I'll do that at the end of this. I think I'm probably not going to solve that second puzzle because I'm running out of time today, but I want to just show you, there's a new JW Sinclair puzzle that is a 5-star, which by his scale is 10 out of 10, which is it's pretty rare for him, I think. At least in artisanal Sudoku, I feel like he has some challenging puzzles, but not like 5 out of 5 stars. I have stared at it and drawn so many conclusions. I could write a thesis on this puzzle and I still have not broken in. I know I can see how so many things are working together, just haven't broken in. Anyway, do we even care about this being a domino? Probably not. It would, this being gray would put our 2 here. Okay, well does that mean that there's a 2, one of these is always a 2? Because that would be kind of cute. Like, if this domino thing, which I've made up, is true, if this was gray, this green is a 2. And if this is green, this gray is a 2. So all of that serious deductive reasoning means that this is not 2. That's what I'm going to tell you. What do you think of that? At 2.5 hours is this is embarrassing. I'm going to tell you how long I've stared at that puzzle. Now, granted, I've like opened it and closed it and come to it and come back and whatever and like restarted, but I always kept my time. Oh my gosh. You won't believe me if I tell you this number. How long I've stared at this puzzle without breaking in. It's Marmoset, James Sinclair. I'm going to show you something deeply embarrassing. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. That's 875 minutes that I have stared at this puzzle. And you will notice there are lots of things colored and pencil marked and whatnot, but 875 minutes I have come back and forth, just like over whatever, the last week, just come stare at it a while, work on it a while, 30 minutes, whatever, give up. Like, it is... Now I feel like I'm going to blush after I feel like I just showed a shameful secret. Okay. Did we actually learn anything from anything I just said? I don't really think so. Well, one thing I will tell you is that these 2 digits are not the same number. And right now they both see the same thing. So one of these must grow. Oh my gosh. Is it really this simple? Oh, Blobz, you were trying to help me. Oh, God. Not dissimilar logic to what we did here. Not the same, but not dissimilar. If this is... as I have said repeatedly, and I appreciate you trying to nudge me towards this, and it's very embarrassing. This couldn't be 5, right? We can't have a 5 here because of this. So we're never allowed to be shaped like this. Gray can never be shaped like this. Which, that's an easy statement. But what's the inverse statement of that? Is green can never be shaped like this. This is never green. This is gray, which caps this off at 3, which means these are not 3. Which means I was right earlier when I was wrong. I was incorrectly correct or correctly incorrect earlier when I said both of these had to grow. Now they do. So I feel vindicated in some embarrassing way. But, you know, it was all worth it because we got this. Yeah, take a moment to boop, Bowie. Bowie, do you need a boop? Oh, look at that face. Look at this. Look at this face. What are you doing? I'm pretty sure there was a... Pretty sure there was a Fistum and Fell puzzle that I spent 24 hours on total. Yeah, okay, sorry. Yes, let's do the puzzle. We have some simple... Our little buddy's got to escape here. One of these must be longer than the other. One of... If it's this one, we get a little nook and or cranny in there. Do get our 3 here. So these are... not really that constrained. These digits... Okay, so get back on the back in the wagon. I'm drawn to fives for reasons I can't really describe, but maybe I shouldn't be. Just this situation is a real kick in the pants. Like, what are we doing here? We have said this fellow sees more than 2 digits, so it must grow, right? But does it grow this way? Where this is the 7 and this is the 5? Does it do that? Okay, the other way to ask that question is what color is this? I don't know the answer. These aren't very big digits. I mean, sorry. They are big digits. These are big digits. These are bigger than 5. And one of them is bigger than 6. Certainly. Just thinking about... Are they 9s? I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay, we gotta get back on track here. So, as far as like yin-yang-y rules, am I missing things like checkerboards and 2x2s and whatnot? Because I do tend to do that. One thing that does happen is if this is the green 2, and meaning this is all gray, we've got to grow out this way. But I don't know that it really is set in stone which way we've got to go after that. The relationship of these will be the death of me. I mean, there's a possibility of this, right? Of gray doing this business. If that's true, gray has to fully do this. Is that a thing? Is that a thing we would allow? Maybe. I think it's a little challenging because then these need to see different numbers. Seems not like a thing that happens. Because if gray goes like this, how do we allow that without ending up with checkerboards or 2x2 somewhere? Maybe it's possible. I mean, in terms of these, like 2 of these would have to see different numbers. Maybe it could be something like that. I guess that's true. This one would always be different from this already. It just needs to be different from this. Okay, it feels like we've got to do work here. This is not a 9. Oh. Okay, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is the max. This is not a 9. So 9 is in here, right? But is 9, is it, this couldn't be 9, could it? We obviously can't connect the 2 sides of the world. That would be a problem. And there's only 10 digits visible. So if we like, even if we try to not connect the sides of the world, then we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I don't think that's ever 9. So I think we place a 9 here, which places a 9 here. I hope that's true. We get a 6, 7 pair here. It felt like we were going to learn some things about 9s. That is going to put a 9 here. And this person, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, is not a 9. So that places a 9 here, which puts a 9 here or here. And this is not a 9. So that's a 9. That's going to put a 9 there or there. And maybe that's all it does. What color are you, 9? Nobody knows. Okay, well, I feel good because at least I put some things in the puzzle. So that's a heartening. It's a heartening situation. This is a little annoying because it feels like I should know something, like some knowledge should be available to me. This that could be an 8. I don't think it's an 8. What would that make you? 7. That could only work if these were green. And that would be green. And that would be 4. That would be the 2. This would be 5. This would need to be bigger, so it would grow. If this grows in this direction, okay, that's maybe something we're talking about. If it's this way, it's a 5 for sure, right? But as soon as it's not 5 anymore, in this way, it's just a 5. But as soon as it's not 5, what are the things it could be? It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that true? That this is it's either 5 or it's 5, or it's 8, meaning that's not 7. This is from 5, 6, 7, 8. Nobody cares, but it's true. What are you? Certainly more than 2. If you went this way, if this was green, this person would see 4, which that seems like a thing that's okay with the world. If it was gray, this person would need to grow this way and would see at least 3. And that's probably okay. Is that really possible for both those to be gray? For this to be an 8. If this is 8, it's shaped like this. Those are all gray. That's an 8. That's a 7. That could still be a 5. But it could also maybe grow that way. I might break the 2ification, I'm not sure. What does that mean? Okay, well, all right. Let's think about it this way. I see. Okay. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe that's wrong. Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe the thing I was just thinking was nonsense. The thing I was just thinking about is this island connecting to the world. We know it connects one way or the other. The question is kind of, does it connect both? But green still has a route, obviously. Green's got green can wiggle out of everywhere. It's a little harder to wiggle. If this is green, we know our wiggle of gray must continue. It just has to. That's 4, that's 5, and then this must grow this way, which does make that gray. We're talking about a situation where this is green, mind you. In this situation, and then this fellow's got to kind of come out and come here. That's 2, 3, 4 if we don't grow any more than we already have. But this is definitely green. These are green in that scenario. We've got a little gray loop-de-doo. If it's 5 going that way. If it's 5 going the other way, it still could stop there. You know, it's in the case of where it's double, I guess, that this could be green. This is green. That's definitely gray. This is gray. One or the other of those must grow. Was it useful? I mean, we did. Is there just some very obvious Sudoku I'm missing? Because that would be funny. Especially after all the fuss over the 3s. After all the heartache that we went through. That was 3-related heartache. There's some question about the 3-ness of this person, because it's at least this has to grow to connect this. Is that true, actually? Does this have to grow? Yeah, it does. Okay, so this is I don't know if this is helpful, but like you could make the case that like, oh yeah, you could have a little tunnel like this, but if you have a little tunnel like this, if these are green, I guess you could. No, that doesn't work, actually. I don't think that works. If these are green, let's talk about what happened. Chad, did I lose you? I don't, sorry if people have been talking to me. Let me refresh. Sometimes I can't tell if, okay, I just got a message that says, if pink is green, there's a problem. Yes, I think that's what I was about to say. I think if pink is green, there's a real problem. Because of the 2 situation, because of this. Because if pink is green, then this is not 2, right? Because it already sees 3. And this, yeah, okay, this should have been much easier to see. If pink is green, we have done this. And so this is gray in this scenario, but this can't be a 2. And if this can't be a 2, this has to grow, and it makes a little loop. And we've now totally isolated this. That should have been much easier for me to see. If we did this, you would almost say like, oh yeah, it's fine for this to be a 2. And then this can be gray and that can escape. And, you know, gray can scoop around or whatever, but we can't do that. This is not green. This is gray. What a discovery. What a monumental discovery. This is not a 2. This is a 2. I hope that's true. I think that's true. I should have seen that as soon as I did that. If I had carried that logic a little further, when we knew the 2s were here, this could not be 2. Interesting. Okay, well, that's very exciting. So now what do we know? We know that this is not 7 or 6, this digit. So that's the thing I will tell you, is it's not 6 or 7. Because it made us mad if we tried to connect this, right? That was a bad situation for everyone, because we had 5 digits that need to be bigger than 7. So it's not 7, but it's also not 6, because it could never be 6. If we try to make it 6, it connects and turns into 7 anyway. So it's a maximum of 5. So it's 3, 4, or 5, but it's not 5. So it's actually just because of this. It's actually just 3 or 4. This is only 3 or 4. This currently sees 4, but okay, what are you gonna do, green? Which way are you gonna go? I feel like we know some things now that I just don't remember anymore. They're just gone from my mind. In terms of like what was gonna go on if we had the like, if both of these were gray or both were green or whatever. It's all lost. So that restricts this, right? Because this can't be 8 anymore, because this can only be 3 or 4. It could only ever go this far, right? Because it can't be 5. Wait, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can't go 5, and it couldn't go 6, 7. So it's only 1, 2, 3, or 4. So it could only ever go this far, which means this could only ever be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is not an 8. I never really believed it could be an 8 anyway, personally. And in fact, the fact that this is 3 or 4, 1, 2, 3, it still could just be 5 though. But then this would have to grow up and up. And then this would have to be green. Or it goes like this. Okay, here's the way to think about this. This person has to get out of here. At least one of these is green, right? And we've decided that like one of these must be gray, because if these were both green, this whole party would be a sad story. So if we were in like our full loop-de-doo where they're both gray, what have we done? What hath we wrought? Water, water, what hast thou donest? This could still grow even. There's a little bit of tension here, right? Because there's a scenario where this is a 4, which forces that to be a 3. If this is green, this is a 4. And this then must be a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this must be a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This must be a 6. In that scenario. Which way do you want to go, little fella? What are your options even? Which way do you go, little buddy? You're at least a 3. I mean, don't be absurd. Not an 8, but you could be could you be a 7? Is that true? I don't believe it. 2, the 3. Where is the 3? I feel like 3s have been a real thorn in my side in this puzzle. But there's a digit in this cage. Of that I'm pretty certain. Oh, this is so embarrassing. This started off so smoothly, such fluidity. It was like I was dancing on clouds. And then now what have I done? I also am interested in these digits still as a personal point of interest. Because why? We did un-3ify these. But 1 could still be 4, right? That seems to be true. So there's some Sudoku that I haven't Sudoku'd. It sort of feels like there is. I have that sinking Sudoku feeling. Syncdoku. Okay, the relationship of these people is a real... If this connects, this is already not 5 anymore, right? Like that's, now that we've extended out here, we're 6. So the only way this could be 5 is if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which makes this a 3. Which makes this also a 5. So this would have to grow to be a 6. And then 7. And then green could escape through here. And this just would be seven. And this would also be 5. Is that true? Is that a hint that I need to think about? I need to think about 8. Okay, this is convoluted logic, but let me just talk through this because I think it works. If I try to put a... Okay, clearly I need to think about 8s, but let me just think about 5s for a second, and then we'll talk about 8s. Which maybe we're thinking like of a similar thing here. Are you just asking me a really simple question of like where 8 goes in row 4? Let me do this in convoluted logic, and then I will do the very obvious question that I was trying to ask about 4s, which is where does 4 go? And maybe think about 8s instead. But let me talk through this. If this is a 5, then this is definitely green, right? Because if we've connected here, it already sees 6. So in that scenario, this is green, right? So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, this is a 4, and this sees 4, which is no good. So we have to say, actually, it needs to see more. Well, now it sees 5, and that's no good. So we say, well, actually, it has to see 6. But 6 is no good because there'd be a checkerboard here. So it actually has to see 7. Right? So now we have connected this while isolating this. This was a 5. This is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we make this a 5, this is also a 5. I don't know if that's... I think that logic tracks, right? Like if this is green, if this is gray, this is already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this has to be green for this to be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5. This is 4. This must grow because it sees 4. It sees 5, which is not allowed. It sees 6, which is not allowed because of checkerboard. So it has to see 7. So now this is gray and this sees a 5. So I'm going to say this is not a 5. Actually, that was also not green. This is not 5, which means what? Which means that if this doesn't connect, this has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's also a 6, 7 pair there. Thank you. 6, 7 pair. That's exciting. Now, if if this, now if this is green, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But that means this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 is no good. But if we do 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we have 8. And that's also no good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doesn't. This is gray, is what I'm trying to tell you. I think this is gray. How do we feel about that? Which means green has to go here. And what else happens? I realize I should look at 8s, but this seems, I think I stand by that. And then this now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for you. This can't be 8 anymore because 8 was this, right? And didn't that make us mad? Didn't we have problems with that? Maybe actually we're okay with this now, but if this little guy can sneak out. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just as that, this would see 5, this would make it see 8. How do we feel about that? I don't know how I feel about that. Excuse me. How do I feel about that? Unclear. Do we do anything with that 6, 7 pair? I don't know if we did. So this means, what does that mean for this person? The thing that's annoying is this person could still be a 3 because 3s continue to be my enemy. I know I need to look at 8 here. I realize that. But I have that like feeling of a thing I need to think about. I mean, initially I was looking here thinking about 4s, which was the wrong digit to think about. So the real digit to think about is 8 because 8 doesn't have a spot here. Right? And then the only remaining digits would be cages. And there's a question on whether or not these cages could be 8s. I understand that's the thing that I'm supposed to think about, but I'm still having fun banging my head against this because these two digits have to see a different number. So this could be a 3, which would make this, I know. I have to think about the 8s. I want to follow my thread of logic. And then when it leads nowhere, I will think about the 8s. Because it's kind of a question of which way this goes, right? Because the, maybe it could go both ways. I don't know that I believe that it could. I will abandon this line of inquiry in a moment, but I just can't let it go right now. I can't let it go. It feels like there's something I can know here. It feels like something is knowable. Right, we lost an option here, didn't we? Did we lose an option here? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, but 1 bigger is 7. There's no 6 here. Did we already talk about that? Which means 6 is here or here. Which means, I know, Chad, I'm being rude and ignoring you, but I have a feeling in my heart that there's something here to pay attention to. Like I'm pretty low on digits here, right? This is 3, 4, 6, 7 is kind of all that's available to me. And do I believe any of that to be true? We're already at 3. That would be 4. 5 would take us directly to 6. This could be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would instantly be an 8. It's not 7. I know, chat and probably driving you insane. This is also 3, 4, 6, 7, but that doesn't matter. But 6 is possible, annoyingly. 1, 2, 3 means we take a turn here, which does make this 4 and this 5 and this some other number. Well, gosh, the 3, 4, it's so close. Like, I just want to get a 3, 4 pair here. That's all. Is that a crime? I'm just trying to get a 3, 4 pair here. But the 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seems like a thing that I could do. So maybe it's a lost cause. I just want to rule out 6. Can I rule out 6? This digit would have to see a different number of digits than this, as would this digit. So either it doesn't grow at all, but one of these has to grow, and one of them has to grow by 2. So this could grow by 2, and this could grow by none. If this grew by 2, we'd be in a weird situation, because then this couldn't grow, and I think we would have isolated gray. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, I don't know how to roll out the 6. I'm sorry. Let's go, Jesse. Skojo gets it. Skojo understands. It feel like it feels so close. The 6 feels, if we ruled out the 6, we'd have this 3, 4 pair, and we would get the 7, and then we would just know everything in the whole world. We would know every single thing. If we could just rule out this 6, it feels rule outable. 6 would look like that. This couldn't grow further, so this at this moment would see 5, and this at this moment would see 5. Which is not allowed. So one of these would have to grow more than 6. One of these would have to be 7 or 8, not 9, but would have to be 7 or 8. Not 6. If this was 7, I mean, it seems almost like you get into trouble with this being 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 almost seems like you get into trouble, because then you force the 7 here. Then this sees fewer digits because you had to grow this gray, right? Blobz is telling me something's green or not. The last thing I'm going to do is follow advice from Blobz. What does Blobz know about this puzzle? Sheesh. Okay, maybe the 6 is... doesn't it feel like there's a way to know this? Doesn't it feel like this 6 will cause some problem? Or maybe it just is 6, and it's foolish to try to rule 6 out. Maybe that's the actual situation. Probably is. This digit is bigger than this digit. Probably smaller than this digit, right? Isaiah, how's it going? Welcome. I'm poor Blobz is so generous with these puzzles. Oh my gosh, it's after 10 o'clock. I'm supposed to be quiet. Oh no. Being loud during quiet hours. I lost track of time. Sorry to my neighbors. Oops. Okay, I give. Let's look at 8s. So what are the remaining digits here? 4, 6, 7, 8. Is that what's left over in our little bucket of digits here? Oh no. Why are... Yeah, we can go to ASMR voice. We'll go to the ASMR voice. Isaiah, I'm sorry to hear that you're feeling discouraged, but I can spend some time with my bad ASMR voice, and we'll talk about what I'm probably actually supposed to pay attention to, which is whether or not it's possible for one of these to be an 8. You know, there's some theoretical possibility that we could put an 8 in here, so let's explore that and see what happens. I feel like we're going to end up with a 4 here, which nobody wants, but for this to be an 8, it's going to be a challenge. And have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In fact, it's just not possible. It's just very obviously not possible. Why did I think it was possible? I think I did the silly thing where I did like, oh, 3 plus 5, it can be 8. And I just disregarded that. But that's not how numbers work. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's very obviously not an 8 in there. And this 4, 6, 7 triple just says there's an 8 over here. What an embarrassing situation. Okay, I still think we could have done this. I still believe in my heart that if I banged my head against it hard enough, I could have come up with it's my bread and butter, finding some insane relationship of sightline squares. But okay, let's, just in the interest of not driving everyone insane, let's try to move things forward. 2, 3, 4, 5 instantly greenifies this, which 4ifies this, which 3ifies this. So there was a relation. It is a 6. So it was fruitless to try to prove that wasn't a 6. It was a fool's errand, which somehow Blobz knew. I don't know. I don't know how Blobz could have known that. We do get a I mean, it's so I take extreme satisfaction in side quests in Sudoku puzzles. In fact, Skojo, you're kind of the master of that. What was that one puzzle where I spent forever like trying to figure out the colors or something, and then the colors were irrelevant? Then that was the fun surprise. But that was by your design. In that case, it wasn't just me being ridiculous, which is normally the case. I like side quests. It's some might call them fool's errands or fruitless diversions, but call it a side quest. What do we need in here? We need a 737. Oh yeah, that was that chaos, but I liked that puzzle. That was a good puzzle. 1, 2, 3. So what do we have here? We have a 4. Those are not citizens. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this person is... We have a quarantine here. I've been playing Frostpunk too, so I'm thinking about quarantines. This whole little thread is now isolated and must break out. This sees 4. This sees more than 3. Currently this sees 3, but it must see more than 3, and it must see more than 4. Right? Also, there's a 1, 4 pair up here, by the way. But this digit sees 1, 2, 3. It's not a 3. So it has to grow once more, but now it sees 4, and it's not a 4, so it needs to grow even more. And the most it could be is 6, so this is a 5 or 6. Feels like there's probably a reason that it can't go further than that. Do we... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does it cause a ruckus? Well, it does. We already need to grayify this, which means we need to greenify this, which means the ruckus would be caused with a 5 because we'd end up with a checkerboard. So that is grayified. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is a 6, which comes out of there. Now, this is not a 2, so it must grow. And that means it is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which seems safe. gets us the 5, 6 in box 1. That is not a 6. In fact, we know what it is. Looks like a 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Remove the 7s from there. So this is either a 4, which it currently is, and if it grew one more, it would be 5, 6, 7. So it's never 6. So this was a 4 after all, which I've been dreading for hours. The main thing I didn't want that to be was a 3, but a 4 still upsetting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a 9. So we will place a 9 here. Uh-oh, did I break something? What have I done? Oh yeah, okay, this is just someone is are we just fully painting the fact that I'm ignoring the yin yang rules? I'm sorry. Yes. For a number of reasons this is green. One reason is that this 9 must connect with the rest of the world. The other reason is, as we said, this is a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 means this is green. Which means this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is going to untangle this, give us a 6, 7 pair up there. We get the 3 and the 7. And what? What now? This is just a 2. So have we fully yin-yanged and fully sight-lined the puzzle? I think we have. I think we have. Trusting my pencil marks, that's a 9. Uh-oh. Are there sad things happening in chat? I don't know how to cheer you up, chat, other than do an ASMR voice. Okay, so now we have to do the dreaded Sudoku, which for some reason I feel like I'm trying to think harder about it than needs to be thought. But I think it really is just, we go to Sudoku town. Okay, so we need a 2 and a... I'm bad at scanning, especially when I've got colors all over the place. That's a 2, 5, gives us a 4 and a 5. 5s... Do we know about all the 5s? We already know about all the 5s. This means we need a 1 and an 8 and a 6. It feels like. So the 6 is not here. The 1, 8, I don't know what to do about. 1, 6, 8, but this is not 6. This must be 1, 6, 7, 8, but not 6. Not 1. So these are 1, 6, 7, 8. This is not 1, 6. This is not 6. So that is 7, 8. I feel very clumsy at this right now. We do get a 2 here and a 3 here. This is from a 1, 7, 8 set. This is as well without the 8. I feel like I just hit some kind of wall of fatigue. 6 is just in here. Well, that was obvious. We already know that. I'm making these self-evident statements. Okay, what else we need? We need another 1, 6, 8. Oh, these 1, 6, 8s all over the place, but in this case they are unfurled, seemingly. The 7, no 7 here. The 8 here, no 8 here. The 1 and the 8 and the 7. We get the 6, 7 pair. We get the 6. We get the 1. I think we just get a 4 over here. And there's a 3 over here with its friend, the 1. No 3 in the corner. And here, another elusive 8 and a 2. And the final digit is, I think, a 4. Oh, Blobz, that was so good. Again, I feel so clumsy. The places I was clumsified. Thank you very much. That was a great puzzle. Really interesting. Like, so what a fluid start. Like, really fluid break-in. And then I just got caught up on nonsense, mainly stubbornness, I think. Like, not looking at... It's funny that I will say I wasn't expecting it to be an 8. I should have. That's a big number. But like kind of when I'm like scanning rows for constraints, like I tend to look for like ones for like something like this, where there's only a few spots where there's non-cages, so you just get the ones for free. And then 9s always feel too big, but 8, it was evident pretty early, I think, much earlier than I paid attention, that 8 couldn't be here, which untangled this. But I will say, we did have to bang our head against this enough to at least reduce it to a 5/8 pair, right? So like, I think it wasn't necessarily all wasted logic here. There was something, the 6 should have gone away way sooner. I don't remember how the 7 went away. How did the 7 go away? How did we un-7ify this? I don't remember. Anyway. Oh, you are all the best. Thank you for the GGs. And Skojo, thank you so much for telling me that Mark tried the Sudoku pad. That is wonderful to hear. And I need to box yours up. We can pretend it's a Christmas present, even though it's just been sitting on a desk in there for 10,000 years. Okay, Blobz, I'm going to save the indexed Yin Yang sightline, I think, for tomorrow. Provided I can stream tomorrow. I hope I can. I want to continue Blobzgiving. Let's check in on Bowie. Bowie's done. Bowie's done with this. Bowie. Hey, buddy. Bowie, you ready to go home? Oh, buddy. Oh. Exhausted. Bowie's done with this day. Oh, I would appreciate that. Definitely don't trouble yourself. Just knowing that it's a Mark puzzle from a month ago or so definitely helps. So if it's not easy for you to dig up quickly, don't worry about it. But he actually used it on a solve. That's flattering. For those of you who maybe don't know this ridiculous thing that I made, I made a ridiculous thing. The most recent of which that I've bothered documenting was the Sudoku pad, which is just a dedicated peripheral that I designed for Sudoku pad specifically. I don't think it's actually a very good peripheral. Like it's more of a fun curiosity, perhaps, that I spent an outrageous amount of time on, in particular on like deciding how to print the custom keycaps and designing the keycaps, which was all a mistake. I saved money though by not just buying custom printed keycaps, which might have cost like $100 or $200. I instead spent like $4,000 worth of time designing them myself. So it was definitely worthwhile endeavor. Oh wait, wrong camera. Sorry. Here we go. This thing, the Sudoku pad. So custom 3D printed keycaps with the labels on, custom 3D printed enclosure, and then a custom designed PCB with a cute little. I should have documented that better. Should have pictured the PCB design. A cute little microcontroller on it. Still not entirely sure that I made the right choices for the key layout. Yet to be determined, but it was a fun project that I spent way too much time on. Okay, I think I'm done with the stream. Everybody, it was lovely to see you all. Thanks for the new follows. I do appreciate that. Thanks for everybody being patient with me and encouraging and doing like the real puzzle here is the carefully constructed puzzle of how to like breadcrumb me to finding something while still making me feel like I discovered it, which is a careful art form, which Terrier Darts is very good at doing in the form of a question. Which I think is like actually, that's the actual definition of irony, right? like asking a question that you already know the answer to force someone to have a realization or to like illustrate a point about it. Not that anyone uses the word irony to mean Socratic irony, but or rhetorical irony, but I think that's what it was. Okay, you're all the best. I will try to stream tomorrow. If not, hopefully in the very near future. Okay, good night.